So welcome everybody. So we're going to work on shifting trapped energy out of what the Tibetans call our sacred body, which is the energy body field, which we feel if we do Reiki or Rohani and other healing modalities. But it's great to use the Tsa Lung, so there's 5 of them, and they really clear stagnant energy from the chakras. Sometimes they're called the vortexes. So we'll work with that tonight. So just let your eyes close. We'll just do a bit of a warm-up first. So eyes closed. Nice deep breath in. And a sigh out. And again, breath in. Lovely. And again. And then I just become aware of the natural breath. And I want you to feel into the physical body with your awareness. A scan from the top of the head, go down through the forehead, ears, face, neck, shoulders, and just notice how the body's feeling today. Notice any areas that might be a little bit tender, tired. And then scan for emotions that might be present, so strong emotions. Maybe there's some frustration, sadness, a bit of irritation. Now maybe you've sat down with a bit of anger. Whatever it is fine. You don't need to resist it. I just want you to notice it. And then just scanning for any dominant thoughts that are currently in your field of awareness. So we don't need to dwell on them. I just want you to be aware of them. Lovely. Now we're just going to shift our awareness into alpha state. So I want you to breathe in for a count of 4. Pause for 2. Breathe out for 6. And again. And just keep going and feel the count. So rather than it being mechanical, feel it more like a wave building. So when you get to that 2, it's kind of like the wave coming up. You're just riding it for that count of 2 before you free fall, like a surfer as the wave breaks. So just feel it like that. And if you find that your exhalation is beyond 6, that's absolutely fine. So just aim for 6 as a minimum. So just keeping it 4, 2, and then 6 and beyond. And as you exhale, really get a sense of surrendering to everything that is present that I've asked you to observe. So just surrender to it. You're just the viewer. We don't have to be attached to what we found in the physical, emotional, mental bodies. We don't need to be averse to it either. We're not pushing it away. We're really bringing it into our awareness. And just let that exhalation bring you into that place of surrender. Lovely. Now we're going to just release that count. We're going to move into the Tsa Lung. So we're going to work with the upward moving lung first, which works on the crown, third eye and throat. We're just going to place our awareness in the different spaces. So it's a layered practice, which involves bringing attention to the specific area in the energy field, holding that attention as you do a double inhale, performing movements 5 times, and then after the 5th time you push the breath out from just below the navel, so it's called the junction point of the 3 channels. So you push it out with the breaths from the nose, so that final push comes out through the top of the head, and I imagine it like a whale's blowhole, just clearing it out. So it starts off slowly, and then when you're ready you push it out with a snap of the belly buttons. So the first physical movement is a turning of the head. So don't be too enthusiastic, because I don't want you to have tight neck muscles in the morning. So you do 5 one way and then 5 the other way, and you're doing that with the breath held, and then you push out. So that's the movement. The breath is, and then, so you do a big breath in and then you breathe in on top of that, and it creates this container where we're moving and shifting the denser energy in the field. So that's the basic introduction. So these are called the Tsa Lungs, Tsalung, and they come from the Bön Tibetan lineage. So it's really ancient, sort of probably 50,000 years old. So, you know, I honour that tradition. So bring your attention to the crown of the head, just really being aware of any sensations there on the scalp, and also the space between the eyebrows, so kind of from the eyebrows up. And I want you to just notice, as you bring your attention to that place within the physical vehicle, maybe a lack of spaciousness, because we're moving into the spaciousness of the mind. And just noticing, you know, the busyness of thoughts, the lack of space, the lack of stillness, just noticing what's there. And as you bring your attention to it, hold your focus on that area of the body. Take a breath in. Inhale on top. Hold the breath. Turn the head 5 times one way. And then the other way. Hold the focus on the third eye and the crown. And then when you're ready, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, just rest. Notice the shift in energy. So we're working with the sacred body. It's also known by many names, the luminous body in shamanism, the Dwarishanta in tantric practices. It's this field of energy that the physical body grows from. So the energetic body is the primary body, and when it gets ill and blocked, it manifests in the physical. So again, bring your attention to the third eye and the crown. Notice any heaviness there, any tension, any repeating thoughts. Just notice, and it might be that you're very visual and you see it like a dark sticky cloud. Maybe it's a pink jaggedy thing. Maybe those images come up when you bring your attention to that part of the body. Whatever's there for you is fine. Maybe it's conversations. Hold your attention on it. Double inhale. Perform the movements with the breath in. Breathe in. Just rest in that sense of space, spaciousness of mind, clarity of thought, stillness, maybe expansion. And let's do that once more. Attention, third eye and crown. Breath in, breath in. Breathe in. Resting in the space that you've created. Noticing the subtle shifts of energy around the crown and the third eye. Be aware of it in a really expansive dimension, so above and around the body, particularly head and crown. If you're really sensitive, you might find that the crown of the head is tingling. Lovely. Now we're going to perform the same movement, but we're going to focus on the throat chakra. So this is the spiritual center of communication. It's where we filter our ignorance and we clear a lot of things. So bring your attention to the throat. And I want you to reflect on speech. There's many forms of speech. There's the internal dialogue that we have towards ourselves, which sometimes isn't very healthy. So I want you to notice how you speak to yourself. Reflect on that. And notice how some of that dialogue is not healthy at all for your well-being. And then notice how that inner speech can reflect outwards towards others, because maybe we're unhappy, so we project it outwards. So noticing how you speak towards other people, judgment, criticism. And we're not judging ourselves here, we're just observing that, that's what we do as humans, and that's something that we need to work on for our evolution. To be respectful of other people's differences, other people's experiences, situations. So just noticing how that dialogue limits us, and feel its energy at the throat and how it depletes the sacred body. And in depleting the sacred body energy, it depletes our physical body, creates illness. And again, focusing your attention on what you found, whether that's a texture, an image, a memory, whatever it is fine. Take a breath in, breathe in on top. Perform the movement again, lower the chin a little bit more as if you're squeezing the throat chakra. Change directions, we're holding the breath. Breathe in. Now what I tend to find with the throat chakra, which is really powerful, is that when I've breathed out I get a lot of tingling, and sometimes I get a line of energy here rotating. So if you're sensing that, just open the jaw, give it a bit of extra release, and then refocus again. So we're going to do it 3 times. Refocus on inner speech, outer speech, and how the level of which we speak has powerful effect upon ourselves and others. As the Dalai Lama says, if you can't say anything kind, then don't say anything at all. Take a breath in. Inhale on top. Hold. Just notice the shifting energy. It's like a really subtle wind. Tsa Lung means wind. If you feel like there's a lot there, then help it on its way. Clearing what no longer serves you. And just resting in the sensations that arise as it clears. Maybe you start to feel that there is more awareness surfacing from the subconscious mind to be cleared. So attention on the throat again, on speech. Take a breath in. Inhale on top. So sometimes I also, so on that one, so I'm only describing my experience, it might be very different to yours, and that's the only way that I can teach it. Sometimes I find that the throat is really powerful and it pushes energy even up to here, to the hairline. So just give it a little bit of a clear, maybe a tap. Just really tuning in, it's like tuning into a really subtle frequency on a radio, and the body's the radio. And just tuning into that subtle frequency, so that you can be aware of it more often. Okay, so let's move to the life force lung, which is heart. This is harder physically because we've got to hold the breath for longer. So do be careful with blood pressure low and high. 5 movements of each movement eventually. But if you think you're running out of breath, then just do 1 or 3 or whatever works for you. So I'll show you the movements first. So we do a double inhale. We focus at the heart space all the way around this area. So remember, the heart space also governs our arms and our hands, which is why we talk with our hands. We use mudras, etc., and higher codes for light language. So the movements are a double inhale, arm comes out, it's really specific, you're clearing all the way here, push, it's like a big lasso, it's coming all the way around. 5 of those, you know, I'm pushing here, so it's quite a specific movement with the hand, it's not just like that, and we're not just doing this, we're doing this big movement as best as you can. 5 of those, hands on the hips, 5 shoulder circles, which is actually from here to here, because this governs the heart space. There's 5 of these, 5 of those. Breath is still in, and then you push the breath out, whatever's left of it. So let's give it a go. So I'll give you what we're focusing on. So bring your attention to the heart space. Feel it all the way around that area. And if you like, you can imagine it as this amazing iridescent green light. And that there are places within the heart space that are darker, that are heavier, that hold maybe grief, sadness, jealousy. Whatever's there is fine. It's a human thing, and that's okay. So don't judge it. I just want you to feel into it. Notice what's at the heart. You know, what blocks the joy that's at the heart space, that beautiful light. It's like a cloud blocking it. And when we clear it, it feels like that sensation on it was a similar day today. It started off quite chilly and it was quite grey, and then it started to lift, and then suddenly the sun came out and it was like, whoa, it just lifted. You could feel the energy lift, and it's that type of feeling. So focus on what clouds the heart space, the heaviness. Take a breath in. Inhale on top. Breath in, feel the heart expand. Almost like this huge sunshine's just come out and it's illuminating your field. Notice that subtle shift, and sometimes it's not so subtle. Let's do that again. Focus on any heaviness or cloudiness around the heart space. Breath in. Inhale on top. Just rest in that beautiful open space. If you wish to, you can imagine yourself just sitting in a forest clearing. And this forest is beautiful shades of green, and it's so dense you can't see the edge of the forest. You're sat right in the middle. And there's this shaft of sunshine coming down right above you, surrounding you in this clearing. Let's do it one more time. So you might find that it's cleared substantially. Maybe there's just a little bit of that forest area that needs to be cleared. Take a breath in. Inhale on top. So keep the eyes closed. We're just going to work with those two. So we've done 3 different ones, but we've used 2 of the lungs, the upward moving lung for the upper spiritual chakras, and then this life force lung for that central chakra that speaks to the lower and the upper. So I'm going to guide you into the heart space now. So rest the hands on the lap and bring the index finger to the thumb, just to the tip of the thumb. So this starts to quieten the frontal lobe of the brain. So just become aware of that area at the front of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. And as you become aware of that area, I want you to imagine that your body, your house, your vehicle for the spirit, is transforming into your dream home. And this beautiful house is in a place in nature. So create that space in nature. So just use your imagination And it's green, the nature is green, so it might be forested. There's a stream nearby or a river, maybe a waterfall. Just allow your imagination to build this house and the setting in which the house is in. And then bring your attention back to where the thumb and the index finger are touching. Be aware of the sensation of energy between those 2 points, like a little light. And I want you to imagine that this hand position, we're going to calm that prefrontal cortex, and it's like walking into the house and just closing the door behind you on the world. So close the door, walk into the house and close the door. Take a nice deep breath in, as if you're putting down all the baggage from the day, and let it go. And then walk into the house and find your favourite spot to sit in. Maybe it's beautiful sunlight pouring through a window, maybe the window's open and there's a breeze blowing through. And just sit down. And then imagine that you're just listening to the natural environment, but you've closed the door on your busy life, just for this moment. And then I want you to move your index finger down the thumb so it meets in the middle section of the thumb. And then take your attention to the middle part of the brain. Focus there. And imagine that you're closing all the curtains in the house now. Close the curtains, or the blinds, or the shutters, whatever you've got. Just let them close. Just closing down the senses. And then finally take the tip of the index finger to the fleshy part of the thumb. And find yourself in your beautiful space. The door's closed. The blinds, curtains, whatever you use are closed. And you've just invited yourself into this space to know yourself fully in meditation. And then let the thumb reach to the middle finger, and then let the ring finger touch the thumb as well. And just the little finger sticking out. So this is Hridaya Mudra. So Hrid is heart. You've got the index finger right down on that fleshy part of the thumb. And then the next 2 fingers on the tip of the thumb. And the little finger is the water. So be aware, firstly, of yourself in this beautiful house, in this beautiful setting. But there is an awareness of your true self at the heart space, this beautiful light. Just sitting at peace, stillness, silence. And the little finger represents water. So let's just add in as we sit in this beautiful place. The stream in the distance, we can just hear it, this beautiful water of Mother Earth. Maybe it's a waterfall, maybe you have an ocean, maybe it's a river, maybe it's a pond that just you can hear the wind against the water. Whatever it is in your imagination, just allow it to surface. And start to bring your attention to the breath. as it flows from the nose to the heart space. Feel the heart space expanding with the breath, and with each exhalation, just letting go a little bit more deeply, surrendering a little bit more deeply. Feeling that flow of the divine on the breath. Being aware of that deep connection to nature. And we're not separate from it, we are part of it. And as we breathe out, the trees and the plants breathe in. And as they breathe out, we breathe in. And start to really hear the sound of the breath now. It's like the wind is speaking to us. The air, the trees, all the animals in nature, the plants. The warmth of the sun, the coolness of the air, the stability of the earth. Be aware of the elements within you as well. Earth, water, fire, air, space. And as you breathe in and out, be aware of your connection to all that is, that we're not separate at all. And as you hear the breath is saying, so hum, so. I am that I am. And that thatness is all that is. Everything that exists is energy, and we are part of that. Feel your connection as you breathe. Let your imagination take you on a journey with the breath in the landscape that we're in this beautiful house, in nature. And just a few more breaths, being aware of where you sit, not just in your imagination, but awareness of your physical presence in the room that you're sitting. And then bringing the hands together and just letting the thumbs touch the heart space, the sweet, the space where the spirit resides. And then touch the hands to the floor. Imagine they're on the Mother Earth. So you may not be directly on Earth, but visualize it. So we're just going to form a protection bubble around us as we've done a lot of energetic work. So this is a modern way of doing this practice, which is rooted in both Tantra and other ancient practices. So I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a big, beautiful stepping stone, and you're just touching your fingers into this beautiful river that's part of Mother Earth. It's blue, it's really clear. And you're going to pull it up around you to form a protective ball. So as you inhale, pull that up around you. Good, keep the hands above. So this point above you, the center of the palms, is that space around us, the energy field, the Dwadishanta, the sacred body, the luminous field. Good, now we're going to pull over the Mother Earth protection, the protection from the masculine energy. So I want you to bring down, as you inhale, a beautiful golden energy, like liquid gold, and let it cover the blue. And as it completely coats all the way around you, it starts to form a nice, strong shell of protection, like an armor, like metal. And then all around that beautiful ball of energy, I need to place mirrors, so they deflect. So just put all the mirrors up around you, so you're like a disco ball. And then imagine drawing a little curtain across the heart space. So we always keep our heart space open in terms of accepting and receiving light from others, but we give it a little bit of protection. So just like a shimmery, iridescent curtain. And then a little door at the throat, because we've worked on these chakras tonight. So close a little door or a shutter, whatever your door looks like is fine. And then one at the third eye. Bring the hands to the heart space. And I'll just say a really simple prayer. By the power of my own practice, may all beings be free. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale down through the midline. And namaste.